As simple as giving yourself the chance to do the things that you want before you feel ready. We want to believe in this idea that the more we work, the more money we make. It is actually those who risk more who get paid more. When you do a business, you're the casino. You are making the odds. You decide how much to put in the machine and how much to take out. You decide everything. You decide how much risk you take. We like to think that the more we work, the more we will get paid in business. But you see, it doesn't correlate to it like that. It is more correlated to risk than it is to hard work. You see, the more risk you take, the more money you will make in business. But it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to invest so much money into this and I'm going to take such a bigger risk. No, it's about taking smart risks. It doesn't even have to be about money. It can be just about permission. You don't have to wait for permission to do all of these things because most people don't have the confidence to start a business before they are ready, before they have all of the credentials. They don't have the fortitude to write a book before they've lived enough. But you see, through that experience, through that courage, you actually get paid more. You have to understand that this courage to take a risk, to take a bet, to place a bigger bet on yourself will directly influence the money that you make. And the more risk, the more calculated risk you take, the easier it is to understand this. It is not a job. Business is not a job. In a job, you are the only one who can do that task. You see, in a business, you are not the only one who can do the job. If you actually have a well-paying job and a side business, understand that you don't need more time. You can now deploy capital as opposed to your job. Well, some people can do that as well in their job because they can hire assistants, they can hire people and without the boss knowing. But let's not get to that. That's a very entrepreneurial mindset. But it is in your business, you can hire people, you can borrow people, you can have so much more capital deployed towards that business. But you see, most people want more free time. They want more time to spend on their business as opposed to hiring someone when they already have a well-paying job. You have to understand that that would be the better business decision to hire someone because you do have capital, because you do have investment money when you have a well-paying job. And that would be so much better for your business because you will learn what it means to actually deploy capital, what it means to actually have an employee, what it means to train them, what it means to have them satisfied, to have them prepared and trained, and how to make trainings so that you also have that training for the future, how to help them make more trainings, how to help them make more money in your business. You have to understand that really training someone else will not only make you a better entrepreneur, but it will also make you a better person. It will also teach you so much more. Even if you end up losing money with your first employee, I did lose money with 3 of my employees, the first 3 ones. I ended up losing money. I did, however, get a lot of time, but I did lose a little bit of money. In the end, about 10% of what I've earned, I've lost it. I got a little bit into debt, but I've learned so much back then. I've learned that you have to actually have a way to grow and scale to see the future. But I didn't. Every time I hired someone, I wasn't ready for it. Well, except for this time when I did have more and more savings. But you have to understand that it's so much easier to take a gamble on yourself and do things earlier than you are ready. And that's how it works. You're going to get ready. You're going to get the knowledge. You're going to get all of these things. But it is about permission and about confidence and about courage more than it is about hard work. It is your tolerance to risk that really makes you have bigger outcomes because you're not afraid to put all of your capital, to put all of your expenses towards that if you want, or your work towards that, or your effort, or your permission. That is such an important thing because it doesn't have to be about money when it comes to risk. It can be about permission. It can be about the fact that you are giving yourself the opportunity to fail. You say to yourself, look, I'm going to fail at this. I'm not ready. But if I wait until I'm ready, it's going to probably be too late. So let's do it today. Let's do it now. And we're going to see how it works. Whatever happens, I'm okay with the outcome. That's so much of a better mentality. And it doesn't feel like risk. Like, look, one of the biggest reasons why I've started so many businesses in my life was the fact that I've quit my actual well-paying business as a manager. And then I couldn't get better jobs. I could go and get better opportunities, but that opportunity was one of the best. And I didn't get it by working too hard. I got it just by having a few connections. Don't worry, I didn't get rich by it. I had a few bucks here and there to survive for about 8 months while I started my business. And guess what? I failed at my first business. I ended up a few years later, 4 or 5 years later, ended up making that business work. I quit that business now, but all along the way, I realized that in order to really make money in business, you have to have things to offer, things to sell. No matter how ready you are, let the other people decide if you are ready or not. Like, have the things that are required to do the job and then do it and learn on the job. I know it's bad to do, but I didn't have anyone complain. Like, all of the things that I did, all of the things that I've gambled on myself that I will learn. Of course, I'm also a little bit anxious when it comes to making promises. And I actually ended up learning as fast as I could. I understood that if I put that pressure on myself to learn because I'm going to get paid and I'm going to have that pressure, I'm going to prepare myself to do the right work, to do the right things. And I also followed my passion when it comes to starting businesses. I was interested in something, and then I was like, first thing I have to do before I learn this is learn who I can sell this to. Asking myself, who needs this in my life? And trying to propose a project, showing them all the time what I was doing so that they put that thing in their mind, so that they put like, oh, I can hire this people. I can hire this person. I can do this. They can do this for me. And yeah, I was just presenting. I wasn't selling. I was presenting what I was doing. And then they came up with the idea of the project because people want to pay you. The point is, especially if they know you, it's harder when you go towards people who don't know you. But the point is that I wasn't ready. And then I had a friend and I trained her to actually do the same business that I'm doing right now. Not right now, but on the side. The point is that I realized that she was not having the same mindset. And I was like, wow, you don't really give yourself permission to do this, to do these things. Because she was like, oh, this other person is doing this. And I was like, yeah, so you can do it as well. Just do it. Figure it out. Like, really look. I can show you how to do it. I don't know how to do it, but I could definitely tell that I can learn that stuff in about 2 weeks. And in about a month, I'm going to have the same outcome that they had. I know it sounds preposterous, but it wasn't such a big deal. Like, the information, it's out there on the internet. You can just search for it and start figuring it out. And yeah, she wasn't giving herself permission to do those things. And so many other things. She had dreams, she had things. And I was just putting a lot of pressure. Not a lot, but, well, at first a lot. But then it was easier and easier and easier to really pressure her into doing these things. But it was still external. it wasn't really internal. It wasn't like I was forced to do things. I was forced to do them by forcing myself. And now I don't have to force myself because I learned that you don't really need to force yourself. You can instill a habit of courage, of not needing permission, of taking more risk by just doing a lot of repetitions of taking risks in a smaller way so that you can increase that tolerance. It's just like an addict. You increase that tolerance to risk more and more and more until you take more and more risks. And of course, I still consider myself a person who doesn't take enough risks. I could have taken much more on my shoulders, and yet I didn't. Because if everyone who looked at my life saw it the way I see it, they would realize the same thing, is that this guy really performs under pressure 10 times better than when things are going well. Like I take the best decisions of my life. I turn things around so much better. I just, in order, and not even, I don't even have to have that mantra of how can I make this thing the best thing of my life. I just innately have that thing. Like whenever bad things happen to me, I go like, okay, what now? What can I do? How can I do something better? How can I move on from this as fast as possible? Instead of wallowing and thinking about it. Like I even surprised myself, like last thing that happened very, 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 very bad to me. 6 months ago, I got some bad news and I was like, okay, what can I do that night? And I did. And in 4 days, I basically moved to another country for a better opportunity. And yeah, that was the best decision of my life at that moment. And it was a calculated risk that paid off. And it still pays off. So you have to take more risk in business to make more money. Take a gamble on yourself. Be more courageous. Give yourself more permission and you will make more money. As opposed to thinking that you have to have money, you have to have skills, you have to be ready to start a business. Just understand that you will figure it out. And if you don't, that information that you figured out, or all of these things, you will end up following and really using that information in other businesses. All of the things that I've learned the first time I've lost money by hiring someone taught me how to really have people and systems that make sure that I have a profit as well. So I don't just pay from my own pocket. I have to pay from the money that the business creates, the people that I hire. So that's basically what we are doing. And you have to understand that you should always ask yourself not what's better for me, but what's better for the business. In terms of business, what's better? Is it better to hire someone or is it better to quit my job? It's always better to hire someone. The answer is always better to hire someone because you learn so much more about business. Because a lot of the business is about hiring people and about knowing how to train them, knowing how to manage them, knowing how to really make a profit off of other people's work. Of course, it's your work involved as well. You're part of the machine. But you have to understand that that is capitalism. That is how business works. And until you accept that truth, until you accept the fact that, sure, you're going to treat people well, they're going to actually feel appreciated and feel great. But until you accept that truth, you cannot give people better opportunities that they have than they have out there. Because trust me, I know how it is to work for someone else. And I know the type of person I am and the type of opportunities that I give to people that are definitely outside of their reach. I treat them so much better than others. I give them the opportunity to understand and know how to do things, to really learn how to be better at business if they want to start their own business. I actually give them the opportunity to shine, the opportunity to really have and make more money than they ever made if they want to. And some of them take it, some of them don't. The point is that they are so much better than working for someone else. So you have to understand that, sure, you are profiting, but you're also giving something back. You're giving them security, you're giving them a salary, you're also giving them the best work environment that you can muster. The best work environment doesn't have to do with the place that you have them work in. It's about the appreciation that you give them. It's about all of these things. So it doesn't have to be an evil corporate or capitalist idea. Just because you're profiting off of someone, yeah, you're profiting because you're taking risk. You're giving them a salary. You're making a bet over there that you're going to get paid more than their salary. But you don't have to be a capitalist pig. You can basically treat them so good that they're happy, that they're very, very happy to do the work. I honestly, so many times I admit in the training and in the things that I'm doing, I admit that I'm stupid, that I make fun of the fact that I'm stupid and lazy and all of these things. And it's humorous. It is fun, and it actually makes people like, look, we have to do it this way because I'm stupid. And a year ago when I did it, I wasn't sloppy with it. I didn't do a great job. And when you tell people in training that, it actually makes them feel good. It makes them feel like you're a person. And also, whenever they do a great job, whenever they do a good job, whatever they do, try to encourage them as much as possible. Understand that worker satisfaction really is about treating them so good. It's not really about pay. Some people will take a pay cut if it means less stress, better bosses, and being appreciated and made feel, and also to feel that that work really, really is important to someone else or to something, you know? They just want to feel appreciated and like their work and their effort matters. Okay? You have to really understand that. And you can give people that. Don't let just the people who are assholes to be employers. Don't let just the people who are absolutely Machiavellian or whatever, just crazy, have the businesses. Don't let only these people. The world is already full of these people. The world is not full of nice people who do business, of people who can appreciate other people's work. The world is not full of those people, but you can have this permission to hire someone, to make a great business, to treat people well. You can have that. You can really have that. And you can give yourself permission to do that without feeling like it's evil. You're actually giving them security. You're actually giving them training. You're actually teaching them something. You're giving them an opportunity better than they had in their whole entire life. Find people who don't have opportunities because other people are not betting on them, and bet on them as well. They will appreciate the fact that you did that. They will appreciate, some of them. Not all of them. Some of them will appreciate the fact that you're paying them more, that you're treating them well. But you see, some of them won't. And that's fine. You have to understand that sometimes that happens. But give yourself permission to take more risk, take a more gambling approach to your business rather than a strategic, calculated work more strategy.